it's the end of another month, which means that today's video is a book of the month video, and this month I have been reading A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. If you're new here, hello, my name is Tori Cyclic. I make new videos every Sunday for Cyclic Sunday with other videos throughout the week. If you like what you see, like this video down below and subscribe while you're down there as well. You can also follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok in the description at tss6295. Now, let's get into the video. So I was very excited to read A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor because one, it is the first book, like physical book, that I've had in months to read, and new book smell, I just gotta say, is incredible. I forgot how amazing new book smell can be. And two, it's Hank's second book, and it's a sequel to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which is his first book, which I actually did another video on as well, so I will leave a link to that as well if you want to check that out. But I was excited to get back into the world of these characters and get to know them a little bit more and read a different part of their story, and yeah, just dive back into this world that Hank created because I really liked the first book, so always good to go back into a story that you always enjoy. A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor is also a brand new book. It came out on July 7th, so it's really good to be reading brand new novels and brand new things because, I don't know, it's just good to enjoy something that's brand new and fresh right when it comes out. I really like that Hank wrote this book from multiple character perspectives because it allows for a lot more of the world to become real when you're reading the book. Each chapter is from a different character's point of view, and it really allows for you to see them do their own thing in the book as well as with each other or with one of the other characters. I think there's 5 or 6 main characters that the perspectives are written from, if I'm remembering correctly, and it really allows the world of the book to grow even further from just being about like the main characters' journeys. You get to see them do their own thing, and yeah, it just expands the novel a lot further. It also allows for other storylines to come through in the book. So you have the main storyline that goes throughout the entire book, and then you can see other characters jump off of that and do something else that either relates or doesn't relate, and then come back to the main storyline and continue on the story from there. I also really like that this book is kind of written in past tense because it's like the characters are writing in a journal entry about what happened to them in the past. In my opinion, it makes it more interesting for the reader because you're going with the characters as they're reflecting on things that happened to them in the past and thinking about how they could have done a situation differently or dealt with some other problem in a different way. I just really like that kind of writing because it makes it feel a bit more reflective and a bit more internal in the way that they're thinking about the characters, and you kind of get more into their heads as well. Even though this book was written before Black Lives Matter and quarantine and all of the social issues that have been happening over the past few months, there is a real presence of the actual social situations that are happening in our current world in A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor. I think that really shows how educated Hank Green is about literally everything that's happening in our world, scientifically, socially, social media-wise, all of that kind of stuff. There's a section on page 6 of the book that I wanted to read to you guys that is kind of relating to the Black Lives Matter movement as well as women in the workforce. Before the dream, I didn't know what the hell I was doing with my life. I was letting my girlfriend sleep in the living room because she was too fragile to admit we lived together. I went into a job that a bunch of my coworkers thought I only got because I was black. And I knew no matter how hard I worked, I would never make anything like the amount of money that was already in my bank account because I had chosen, much to my dad's chagrin, to get a degree in design instead of an MBA. I had not been totally open with April, or really anyone, about my financial situation on account of the deep burning shame. Like, I'm supposed to own it for everyone who doesn't have it. I'm supposed to show that black people can be rich and that you're racist for thinking that we can't be. But also, I'm supposed to rage at the system that made me rich. Like, can a girl get a break? There's a section on page 18 that I also want to read to you as well that really reminded me of Looking for Alaska, and I think I said as well in my other video about An Absolutely Remarkable Thing that a lot of the writing in that book reminded me of John Green's writing because Hank and John are brothers, so they probably have similarities in their writing styles. But this section in particular, I was like, oh my god, this reminds me so much of Looking for Alaska after Alaska dies, and how Pudge and the rest of them are thinking about how other people should be mourning Alaska. So this section kind of reminded me of that. I want to read it to you here. I was understandably distracted on my walk to Subway, which is probably the only reason I ended up walking past the plaque that had been placed into the ground where New York Carl once stood. I hadn't admitted it to myself, but I must have been avoiding this area. The plaque was a simple bronze square laid into the concrete that said only, "This was the location of New York Carl." A fresh rose had been placed on it, and no one had accidentally kicked it away yet. Part of me thought the rose was a nice gesture. Part of me thought that strangers didn't have the right to mourn April. She was my friend, not theirs. That was the whole fucking problem, that everyone in their world thought that April May was theirs. All they knew of her was the caricature she had created for them. I think my favorite thing about A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor is the twist in it, and I think I said this in my other video as well, that Hank Green is really good at writing a good twist in a story. You don't know when the twist is going to come up in the book, but when it does come up, it feels like you've really earned it, and Hank writes that in such a great way that to make you feel that way. So those are all of my thoughts about A Beautifully Foolish Endeavor by Hank Green. If you have read this book, let me know about what you think of it in the comments down below. And if there are any book suggestions you have for the future, let me know about those in the comments down below as well. And if there's any other videos you would like to see here on my channel, leave those in the comments down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, DFTBA, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!